Welcome back to Next Up. This is episode 5. And in this episode, we got something completely different for y'all. I'm very excited about this episode right here. For the first time ever, we get to sit down and talk with a cannabis photographer. And for the first time ever, we have a co host here. This is going to be a great episode. I'm glad you guys are all able to make it to this episode right here. For the viewers watching, make sure you guys hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't go nowhere because you're going to very well like this episode right here. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Our guest today is Carlos, a.k.a. the
Themaryjaneshots.
Yeah. So he is from Colombia and he is a cannabis photographer. He has had a lot of his work put in High Time magazine. He does some of the biggest cups over in Colombia, and he also takes a lot of the photos for the tournaments over in
Barcelona.
Carlos. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people out there.
Hey, Xavier. This is a big pleasure to be here, honestly. I've been waiting for this episode for what, a week now?
Yeah.
So, super excited to be here. I have so many questions for you guys. So I have you too.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate you coming on, man. And so it's crazy. I've had messaged you, reached out to you, man. You didn't take no time to get back to me. As soon as I seen your work, man, I was like, yo, man, I gotta know this guy. I gotta sit down and talk to this guy.
I'm not complicated at all. So I'm the kind of person that if you text me asking a question, I'll answer. I have no hidden secrets about photography, about media. Everybody can figure it out. You know what I mean? So I just like to build communities. So this kind of invitations, I love it, bro. 100%. Super excited.
So let's go ahead and introduce our very first co-host of the show.
My name is Isaiah Nelson 33. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I represent YSG, a cultivation brand. It's in the making. Getting ready to drop. And I'm so excited to be here today and be able to actually speak and touch base with someone else that has so much to bring to the industry and has brought to the industry already.
Absolutely. You actually nailed it very hard. Something that I've been thinking a long time is that most of the media guys around the cannabis community, maybe they weren't into cannabis community before. So everybody like you or me, we have like different competitions, media wise speaking. Like before I was shooting product. So becoming a cannabis photographer was easy for me. In your case, you probably have a vision of what a video looks like for I don't know, for the different music you go for.
Right.
And that brings a whole different perspective when you working in a different area, in this case cannabis. So it's awesome, like thinking what kind of videos you can do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So tell us a little bit more about like how you came up and how was life for you growing up?
What made you?
Honestly, it was complicated when I was a kid because I'm always been this geek guy that loves different things that probably most of the kids doesn't. So I was heavily bullied, bro. Like I didn't have much friends until pretty late high school. And well, that kind of did its work on me because that created much anxiety, much anxiety. And that's the reason that I met cannabis. Because a doctor said, like, hey, you should go for cannabis. That can help you with anxiety and life changer. So yeah, growing in Medellin is not that easy, bro. No, not that easy, especially because I live in a hood. I don't live in a rich area or anything
Yeah.
like it. So yeah, kids around are complicated. You gotta grow balls to live in Medellin.
Yeah, for real, man. Over here, I think us as like Americans, we pretty much are known to like identify with like Escobar and just to be able to, yeah, to be, because America likes to, like throw that glamour on that type of stuff, and you know,
Man,
yeah,
Pablo Escobar destroyed our country.
yeah.
They don't,
So
they,
Like
they don't
sadly,
understand that.
many people think he's a hero, he's some kind
right,
of a legend. But bro, that guy put so many bombs and took so many
right,
innocent lives.
yep,
Like so many. So many. So the people that idolize these guys is because they haven't lived it. I remember when I was a kid, the bombs wake you up so easy. That shit
man,
rumbles everywhere. It's insane. So yeah, sadly, after he's dead, all the like the young guys from the hoods, the only thing they knew to work with was crime.
mm,
So that became like a normal thing in the 90s. That's the reason Colombia has this dark history in the 90s. It was so nasty,
yeah, man.
complicated.
Well, that's great
Um,
insight because a lot of people do. They cherish, and put Pablo on a pedestal, not really knowing if you're from over there, it's not how you would look at it. You wouldn't interpret it as that. And that means the utmost because, like I said, over here in America, a lot of people glam the money. They look at it for his name, the money, and what he was doing and the power that he had. But hey, not all people with the right power is not always a good thing, no matter how
I
much
know.
behind it.
This might be a little confusing, but I think there's no such a thing as good and evil. It's just experiences, right? In my experience, it was bad. But for
mhm,
other people, for example, the people that got a house from him for free, they probably see him as a god, even living here, and they live the same as me. So it's all a matter of perspective and experience. So
Yeah, kind of what's going on.
super complicated.
so at a point of time in your life, your upbringing, you said, you know what? I've seen all this violence. Obviously, you were like, you know what? I don't want to go that direction. I don't want to glamorify that. Uh, is most of that the motivation on why you picked up the camera in the first place and started getting into the creative side of things in life, or
That happened when I was probably 4 or 5 years. I took my dad's camera, my dad's film camera,
oh
and,
man,
and I stole all the films so I could shoot everything I like.
yeah,
He said, "Where
And
my films at?" He didn't. He
bro,
had them
that
already.
happened from 4 to 10 years old, probably. So he was so like tired of developing films. So he brought me a film digital camera.
mm.
So I've been shooting my whole life.
And what year would you say this was right now?
Oof. 1994, maybe the first
Okay,
camera.
wow, 94. So wow, you started photography at 4 to 5 years old, and your
And
father.
funny thing, I did my own compositions, like the ones that like a painter does,
Yeah,
putting
yeah, yeah.
putting stuff. Yeah, I did that as well because I
Wow.
was by then playing baseball. Weird, I know. I don't like football. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I was very much into baseball, so I made these compositions about baseball. It was great. I probably have this photo somewhere.
So what do you think right now? What are some great qualities to have to be able to so-called master cannabis photography?
Pay attention.
Mm.
Pay attention and down your ego. and look at the photography idols you have. When I started because Eric Nookshot. I
Okay.
saw his photos and I didn't thought, oh, this guy is good, but I'm better. No, bro, this
Right,
guy
right,
is
right.
good. He's the best. I want to do what he does. I want to learn from what he does. So I was paying attention in stories, in all the posts that they did back then, like giving some information about the techniques used to work cannabis photography, because it was by then kind of complicated. Now it's much easier because many people know how to properly maybe do a good photo, but by then it wasn't that easy. So getting the proper information, it was just paying
Mm,
attention, like get your references and work on them. Like I like that lighting, I like that kind of focus, I like that color, I like the shape he uses for the plants. uh, that teaches you maybe the way the public or the market, uh, what they look for, you know what I mean.
yeah.
So maybe that's what I push to, like being as as good as them. But bro, I'm not as good as them.
Yeah.
So would you
Eric
suggest?
Knockshots and Chris Candid Kush, they're such a great photographers, man.
So
Hey,
that took you a lot of meeting um, other people and critiquing and having to take in critique as well, just to
Which is
better your
great.
expertise.
Which is great. I love critiques because not many people critique you. If you think, most of the people just say, "Oh, this photo is amazing. This photo is amazing," but when you actually read or hear a critique, it's great because you're thinking, okay, somebody's seeing something that I didn't, or something that people didn't, and that should teach you as a photographer instead of annoying you. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
it's all about paying attention.
So you spoke about critique. I like that word because I'm big on that. I love when I do get that kind of that negative feedback on some things. Sometimes people for one are not they're not always going to like your work, right? So I think early on I realized that quick, and I really learned fast that you have to just really learn, understand your camera, understand that your ISO, aperture, shutter speed, really learn your camera, and then
Yep.
find someone like you said, you liked Eric Nugshot's work. Find someone that you're inspired by, and really try to study and pay attention to what is really going on. Because if you're taking pictures of, I don't know, crayons, like somebody's, that's probably not going to be the most popular thing. That you're probably not going to be able to make a side hustle or even a nice amount of income off of that.
Yep.
So you have to be able to at least learn your camera, learn your shutter speed, aperture, learn the triangle,
It's not
and
only
then
that, it's also like mentally traducing all these like settings and the probably stack you're gonna do. How
okay,
is it gonna look
yeah.
like? What do you think it's gonna look like before you edit it? If you don't think about it, maybe it's gonna be harder.
So
So you also have to understand not also how the camera works, but also the editing. Editing is 50% of this,
fifty
maybe
percent of the
more.
camera, 50. You saying 50? Like,
Of the result, of
okay,
the result. Yeah,
okay.
maybe more.
Hey, so he just gave you guys game out there. If you guys are tuning in right now, make sure you definitely hit that like, comment, subscribe, and you guys can go and follow him on Instagram at themaryjaneshots. That's on Instagram. Click on his profile, man. Check out his work. You guys can't tell me this isn't amazing work right here, man. We want to thank you again, man, for coming on for this episode. Very excited. And what I was gonna get to, I was gonna say, are you one of your? Do you think you're your biggest critique right now? At this
Yes,
point in your
always.
yeah.
And also my clients, because I have one, especially one very, very, very complicated client. It's because he's very picky, and that makes you grow if you can handle it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because handling picky clients could be very frustrating. Like, they're gonna ask you a ton of shit that probably didn't ask on time, and you're gonna have problems and all this kind of stuff. But if you can handle it, you're gonna grow day a day, a day, a day, a day by learning of all this. So it's okay. Critique is always good, man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think I'm not my biggest critic now is probably this client.
Okay. There's nothing. Sometimes, there's nothing more annoying than, sometimes clients like that. We love them to death, but
Bro, happy
we,
client,
yeah,
happy photographer.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
bro.
All I want to do is make people happy with what I do.
Yes.
I'm not working just because of the money. I'm working because I enjoy what I do.
Yes, sir.
So if I give a shitty work, I'm gonna feel bad.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you gotta do your best, even if it's hard.
So how do you go about it? So now, okay, the client calls your phone. How do you go about picking the right phenotype? What's in your mindset when you're looking at this plant and you're like, because you're taking this plant, most of the shots, is the plant still in flower, or are most of the shots already cured?
No. Probably most flowering, also some dried flowers,
Okay.
but dried flowers represent what 20% of the shots, so it's not that much. I prefer working flowers way, way, way much. It's just they look alive. You know what I mean? They're more bright. The trichomes look more big, so it's as a photographer more enjoyable to work with. And yeah, like picking the right flower, taking the right leaves out so it looks exactly what you want, positioning the flower, choosing the right aperture, for example, for the stock you're doing, choosing the proper light to represent what the client wants for all this kind of stuff. Is a journey.
Are you shooting at a high aperture most of the time because you're trying to really get a nice, sharp, clean shot? So what your apertures
No.
maybe no? Aperture's not
No.
high?
Because if you use a very close aperture, you're gonna have diffraction. That means the focus areas are gonna look much more soft, and you don't want softness on trichomes, for example.
Oh,
So the wider you shoot, the more shots you have to do to get the proper focus, but it's gonna look the better.
okay. So
So
that's a great tip
it's
out
more
there.
work. It's more work, but the quality at the end is 10 times better. Like in terms of sharpness, in color and contrast, especially in contrast.
So how did that grow on you exactly? Like just being in the room, like for me on my end, you guys are, the photographers and the videographers of the conversation. But on my end, like how hard is it? Like how is the feeling of coming into a room knowing that you're shooting the plant itself?
When I
Like
come
was it
to
kind
a
of odd? Was
room,
it kind of odd at first for someone
I
like
take
someone
I
coming to
take a
that?
quick look. The first thing is just I take a quick look to choose my visually favorite plant. And what I do is that I probably most of the times do that plant at the last, because that's what excites the most. That's my goal that day, reach that plant. So I started with the ugly ones in how to say comillas. What's the marks? Question marks? No, it's not question marks. Yeah. Anyway, I choose like what I like first, so I can step into my train of thought while doing the photos. It's like getting excited and excited and excited and excited and excited. So by the end is compensating.
I only ask because a lot of growers. I know you've probably been around growers that'll say this, but it it's true what they say. You have to have like you create a bond with the plant itself. In the industry, like
I
in a
can't
way,
stop
certain kind.
taking a look at the cannabis plant.
See, yeah, it's
This
like it's
plant is
some sort of
magical,
bond.
bro.
A lot of people wouldn't understand.
If you have a minimum touch with nature, if you see a cannabis plant, you're just gonna fall in love with it. Even if you don't smoke, you can tell the beauty
Yeah,
of a cannabis plant. It's just magical.
that's awesome. So for somebody viewing this right now, maybe they think they want to leave portrait photography alone, and maybe they want to get into cannabis photography. What camera and lens would you recommend someone?
Most of the cannabis photography is shot with flash or with lights, so you don't need a high ISO camera. Starting
Okay.
from that, I would say these days minimum 24 megapixels and a macro lens.
All right, guys,
That,
that's
that's like
24.
the minimum thing you gotta go for.
So 24 megapixels, and make sure you get a macro lens.
Yep.
Uh, Thank you for that tip for sure. For anybody out there that's in the creative industry and you have been becoming a little interested into this cannabis industry, and maybe you want to give it a try, there you go. Now you know, bare minimum 24 megapixels and macro lens.
Yeah,
Man.
just keep in mind that if you're using a macro lens, you're gonna need light. You're gonna need a ton of light. The further you go, the more light you need. So yeah, you can get a macro lens, but at the beginning it could be hard understanding the exposition because it's not the same. It's not the same. You can use a light meter and it's not gonna work the same. So yeah, understanding all this is also important. So keep in mind that if you're gonna go super, super, super macro, you're gonna need a ton of light.
So you've been in the creative industry for 25 years now. My question to you is, how has your style changed from first when you first started up until now?
Both heavily, heavily. I started like most of the photographers by then doing this ugly look like HDRs.
Mm,
'Cause that was the thing then. So that was cool because I started doing like technical photography, working with software by doing that, right?
mm.
So that that was the beginning, maybe. But I have worked most of my life with product photography.
Okay.
So yeah, so I haven't shot many people. Like, it's not a thing that I enjoy much because I did so many models in Colombia Tex, Colombia Moda, which are very very famous fashion things. So I did these runways, yeah, all that thing. I don't like that. I'm not into fashion, man. So yeah, I'm into product photography.
Yeah, man, because the creative industry, when you first get into this whole photography world, or I just always like to just say the creative side of it. It can be very hard to know where to go. It's so many genres, there's so many niches that ultimately sometimes you get lost. And I'm glad that you found your way, man, because a lot of people, man, they don't find their purpose with this industry. They really don't. A lot of people try to do a millions of things at once,
It's
and
a complicated industry, but the plant is so thankful. There's so many things to do with it. that doesn't you don't even have to grow a plant to
That's it.
work in the cannabis industry.
And people don't realize that right there.
No,
They
they
think it's
think,
simply
oh,
about
I want to work with the cannabis industry, I have to grow. No, there's plenty of things to do around the industry that you can do. So that's the actual complicated thing, like choosing one of these things. So
we talk about this all the time, me and him, when it comes to the industry itself. Like you said, the photography side of it, when it comes to being in the cannabis industry, you got the seed side of it, you got the people who are out here,
yeah,
breeding,
but
creating their own
also keep in
strains.
mind
It's so
that if
much.
you're gonna get into a sector like, for example, cannabis photography, you're gonna have to respect some references that what
Okay.
references what the market is. For example, in my start, it was Eric Nokshots, so I have to follow that. I could have created my own style, yes, but if you know how the market works, you just have to go with the flow.
Don't go against the grain.
No,
I tell people that all the time. Oh, I want to be different. I want to stand out. It's like, dude,
Bro.
it's not even about that, bro. You have to focus on what the market wants. Do you want?
I don't think myself as an
Entertainment
artist.
knowledge.
If you see every interview that I've done, I always say the same. I'm not an artist. I'm a laboratorista, like laboratory photography. To me, it's just that. It's not magic. I'm not an artist. It's a protocol that I use. So it's not magic. Like I'm not creating like crazy things like some artists, real artists do. So if you're feeling an artist, you have to create something new, yes. But you can expect the market accepted from the beginning. So that's on you.
Man, I would say, man, that's a humble statement. I would say, man, you definitely creating art, man. That it's not easy, brother. I have taken my first 3 shots of you guys can check out my channel on Instagram, Almighty Grows. I took 3 shots myself. Was not easy at all. Like by far. So if you guys like go and check out his page, I'll put it up right here. Make sure you guys go over to the Mary Jane Shots. Check out his work. That stuff, he makes it look easy. I'm telling you guys, he makes it look easy. That stuff is not easy at all, man.
Now it's easy. I can shoot. For example, yesterday I shot 10 plants in
Wow.
4 hours.
Wow. Now, are these
And
indoor plants or are these outdoor?
Indoor plants.
Okay.
But before just properly setting a tripod, the camera, the flower, the lighting, just that could take me 2 or 3 hours.
So
Because
patience is
I
key.
haven't figured yet my protocol. You know what I just said earlier? It's just a protocol. Once you understand all this, you just have to replicate. And if a client wants something different, you do the changes according to that, but it's fast.
So obviously, we like to take our best photos and post them on our Instagram. I'm sure you've taken a lot of other photos that maybe that you weren't allowed to share on your work. Because I've done a lot of work where they're like, yeah, I want to own this outright. And, you can negotiate something in the side. Has that ever happened to where you took nice shots, but you weren't able to display them yourself?
I don't post shit because of that. It's client work, so I don't have permission to post.
I go through the same thing, man. Sucks.
Yeah. And many clients here, they don't want you to repost. They want them to have the exclusivity to do so. I understand a long ago by the hard way. So, understanding that, I just share stories or post, but mostly stories about what I'm doing, it. I think the work should speak for you. So if you have to keep posting and posting and posting to get work, it's because you're doing something wrong. I think, like, commercially speaking, like, if you have uh, a good base, especially, how to say this, like building the trust with the clients, they're just gonna call you again and again and again. So
Absolutely.
you don't need to keep posting shit to call for attention. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of guy who likes to post to call for attention, because I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good, man. Hey, man, if you guys are still following along, this is a great episode. Once again, make sure you guys go over to his Instagram, follow him on Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow our co-host, very first co-host on the show on Instagram. Please leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, man. It'll help the channel grow. My next question right here is, let's talk about some of the most rewarding projects that you've worked on. And if you weren't following along out there in the viewers, a lot of his work has been posted in the High Time magazine, and that's literally like Vogue in the cannabis industry.
It's,
Let's
it's
talk
not
about
even
some of that.
about it's not even about being on high times. It's about the work that I did with this person, which is HomeGrowTv, Dakota.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
probably one of the, if not the kindest person that I know. He has a huge heart, and whoever comes around is blessed. He's the kind of person that brings light to your life. So I think working with Homegrown TV has been a wonderful experience and has brought me so many good things. For example, the High Times post, but to me, it's not even about the magazine. It's just about the client trust, the client's friendship, because I care about that. So that's the most rewarding thing for me.
Hey, man. That's awesome, man. How did you and Homegrown TV, how did you guys align and meet each other? How did that all go about?
Because my English.
Okay.
Basically, I met a couple American guys, which by then weren't many, and there was like a cannabis gringo community here in Medellin. They were called gringo growers. So it was like 5, 6 guys growing great flowers, like crushing every cup in Colombia then. So all the Colombians were so mad. Like, all these gringos came here to Colombia to kill our market. Bro, learn how to fucking grow.
Y'all had that on lock.
They're showing you how to grow. Learn. And that was a great thing. So many people started doing indoor, doing proper feeding, proper drying, and well, after that, everything went crazy, quality speaking. But again, about that question, going to all these cups made me know Dakota. Yeah, I met him once. We just spoke. And after, I was hosting a Cannabis Cup here in Medellin called Copa Medellin, and he wanted to be there, so we started chatting, and from then we've been working together.
Hey, man, I'm happy for you, brother. I'm proud of you. That to me that's literally, man, you living the dream, bro. Like, you living the life, bro.
I never complain. I feel so grateful.
Hey, definitely blessed, man. And I feel like I'm blessed that I was able to even come and walk and cross paths with you, man. I thank God for social media, man, because I'm able to, meet such, man, just people like you,
so
man.
Many great people around, man. This community is wonderful, so wonderful.
And man, and, you know, man, people like you know, you allow people like me to expand my mind, you know, because I see a lot of work on there, but I'm telling you, when I seen your work, I'm like, damn, and I'm like, I gotta hit him up, man. I'm like, bro, your work. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, because you know, like I said, I tried to do it myself, and I'm like, ooh, that's not as easy as you would think, and
No, the
yeah,
person that I
man.
tried to shoot was awful.
Oh
I
man,
had the best plant in front of me, and I was a professional photographer then, and I tried to shoot, and it was awful. I was like, holy shit, what I'm doing wrong?
so
I've been shooting my whole life, and I can shoot the plant. What the fuck?
man,
What the fuck? That's when I started paying attention. Like, I'm doing something wrong, so check what I'm doing wrong.
yeah, being able to work with the plant instead of having to work with, well, actually, you know what? You're still working with an entity, but at the same time, your main focus is trying to, you know, work with the plant. How do you feel that? Is it better to work with a plant versus when you were working fashion and you were doing all those the different type of niches into the creative industry? Could you tell us, like,
It's so simple. Peace.
wow,
It's peace.
and you know, I'm loving that you're talking about this, because it's, you have no idea how good it feels right now to sit down and talk to someone that understands exactly what I mean. You know, we go through this trying to please and make sure our clients are happy,
Fuck
man, and
no.
we, you know, and
You gotta be real, man. You gotta be
yeah,
real. And when you have hustle, uh, I don't know, be the man. You
absolutely,
fucked up, do something, but accept the hustle. And the sooner you do it, the easier it gets.
mm. Hey, that's game out there. Y'all heard what he said. So for everybody out there procrastinating, you want to start, do it.
Yeah,
Just do
like,
it, man.
don't think that I'm don't procrastinate. I do it a lot, and that's an issue. But we think I think all do so. So when you
Yeah.
have, in my case, I'm gonna give you a advice that works for me. Working editing thousands of photos, which is sometimes my case, like working 15,000, 20,000 photos at the same time becomes overwhelming, and you
Yeah.
start editing, and at some point you're gonna have to start procrastinating. Just go out the room 5 minutes, talk to somebody else. Once you feel like you have that block out, come back and again in the room. If you don't do it, you're gonna spend hours doing other shit. That's the only way that I manage to go through procrastination. Like walking 5 minutes, doing something else, and coming back. If I stay here, I'm gonna start playing games, watching Facebook,
Yeah, yeah.
watching shit that it's taking me hours.
Now you
You watch,
distracted and
your watch is 10 a.m. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stop 30 minutes to watch a YouTube video. 3 p.m. You
yeah.
lost 4 hours of work, and bro, that's something that you gotta understand that it's normal in every people. It's normal. We get overwhelmed with stuff. We have feelings,
Easily. Yeah.
but look what it's good for you to work with that, and maybe just drink water, go take a pee, smoke a blunt, a cigarette, whatever. But don't stay in the computer. You're gonna get blocked.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, if somebody right now wanted to work with you and maybe they weren't locally around you, how would that go about? Are you interested, or have you been working with clients from other countries?
I'm actually, for example, from here currently working with a glass company in Barcelona.
Okay.
So they ship me the glass, I shoot for them. So I do some remote work, yes, like this kind of remote work. But most of the time, I prefer to go to a place and shoot.
Got you.
If they can come to my studio, awesome, because I have everything set up and I know that it's gonna look perfect because everything is perfect. But I don't have an issue. I just go with the flow, as I said.
Um, I want to talk to you about this. I want to ask you, you know, social media, Instagram, it's such a huge thing. How important is it as a creative to not get involved in the Instagram followers and trying to keep up with trends?
To me, it was a hustle at the beginning because having followers is important for your ego. So you see that growing and you just want it to grow more, right? That's why this is my fourth Instagram. The first two ones I did hard on posting shit, like trying to call attention.
Okay.
Like I understood that that's not a need. And this Instagram has been long time, no flags, no reports, because I don't post. So I think if you have built trust on your clients, on your work, you shouldn't worry about it. Instagram is just numbers. That doesn't mean shit. If you have a community that supports you, you're good.
Hey man, you guys just heard that? That's just game right there. Stop worrying about those followers, man. And we care about it so much over here in America. We care about it so much. Like, stop worrying about the followers, bro. Just put your work. Your work gonna speak for itself. Your work gonna speak for itself.
Put your energy and your time on your work, not on followers. What for? You're wasting your time.
I want to talk to you about this as well. Our co-host on the show, this is Isaiah right here for everybody out there. First time they seeing him out here. Isaiah is very important to Almighty Productions. A lot of the time when I'm out shooting, I know that it's important for me to document what I'm doing. So my brother is always with the camera, capturing the behind the scenes, taking pictures and video. How important is somebody capturing behind the scene for you right now? Is that important to you, or you don't really?
Much. It is much because that's probably the only thing that I post. Remember, I only post stories. So when I'm working, I try to do maybe a small video or just a take of what I'm doing because I enjoy it. You know, it's
Okay.
a moment that I'm enjoying. So that's what I'm sharing the story. But it's just that. As
Yeah,
I said, I don't complicate much.
man, I like that about you, man. I really been enjoying this whole episode. If you guys have been enjoying this episode, this is something new, something very excited, a very special guest here. Um, very excited we got to do this. I hope somebody out there watching this is inspired. This man has said a lot of important things, man. And to hear it from someone that's not from our country, it is very important because we are so brainwashed over here. Like, if you guys will listen to what this man is saying, he will help your career. Like, he really dropping gems, and I really hope you guys tuning in and really appreciate this episode right here.
Now, I understand people have issues. We all have issues. We all have blocks and moments that you want to stop and quit. That happened to me many times, many times. But again, the community that supports you is the one that gives you that push when you need it the most. So don't be alone. Don't be alone.
Not to go off topic, what so far you've shot so many different strands. What is your best strand
Oof.
that you think?
Bro, it's too complicated.
If you had to pick a strand, your top three
Ooh.
strands.
This is good, chat.
I can tell you the one that I like the most the last 3 months, maybe. Yeah, I tried so many strains, man. So many strains. It's super hard. It's super hard. You're
And
gonna find this very, very crazy. The best flower that I've tried lately was an fucking auto flower.
what?
What?
Nah,
Autoflower.
really not.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
Even not from an expensive seed bank.
Wow, bro.
That is
Autoflower,
like
not from
opening
it.
my mind about how the breeders are pushing the breeding on some plants. I thought autoflowers were shit, but I tried this autoconk from Paradise Seeds. Oh, got me higher than any of the best strains that you get from 1,000 USD a seed.
Wow.
What the fuck? I
There
also
you
remember something that I was very surprised about. Greenhouse seeds also isn't an expensive bank. Most of the people think as greenhouse as an old seed bank that produces flowers without THC and shit like that. Bro, try Mojito.
Mm.
He said that was a good one.
That shit fuck you up. Fuck you up. It's pure earth and gas, huge flowers, huge yield, and fast flowering. I don't know what these guys are doing, but Brain is different now. I trust very much on cheap banks now. I didn't have trust. I was with the hype, with no, just calculator. Oh no, man, just skunk house. Oh no, in-house genetics, compound genetics. Bro, these guys are killing it with cheap seeds. What the fuck? So
Who would be some of your biggest like cannabis cultivators right now? Do you have like a specific one that you like, bro? Like, yo, that dude is badass, man. That dude knows what he's doing.
here in Colombia, I would say two people. One, Homegrown TV, and the grower is called Brian.
I know,
Brian
yeah.
Lopez. Brian Lopez is such a
Okay.
great grower. He's very, very, very precise. He is the kind of person that pays attention. So he's not lazy, but he's a great grower. From the US, I like Matt from House of the Great Gardener.
Mm.
His work to me is amazing. I have tried some of his hash, and man, all my respect. From Europe, I would say Strain Hunters Club.
Ooh.
Ooh, straight Hunters Club. Yeah.
Any flower you get in Strain Hunters Club is perfect. You can try, for example, I tried like 20 max from different clubs, and the only one who had the real Mac was Strain Hunters.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a tough
there's
part.
a lot of that going
To
on.
me,
It's a
that,
lot of
that
fake.
speaks much. Like
It's
they
a lot
got
of
the real
fake
shit.
strands. It's a lot of fake strands going around right now.
Yeah.
As you just heard, it's hard to find the original of certain strands. I was just telling somebody not too long ago, it's hard to come across the originals like that original sour diesel, the original
Oh, man.
AK-47,
I've been
the White
smoking
Widow.
not
I
a long
haven't
time.
seen White Widow in so long that
25. I've
if
been
it,
smoking 11 years, and I don't think that I have tried a proper sour diesel yet.
that's saying a lot.
11.
It's original.
Yeah, no. All the sour diesel that I have tried, I think they're not the real shit. So I
Always
wonder
hard.
if someday I'll meet the real diesel.
I want the White Widow back.
Oh, White Widow is coming back here in Colombia. I love the strain.
Yeah, see, it's
I-
nowhere near over here.
And good THC. The one that I tried like last month was 22% THC with 4% terpenes. So the entourage effect was hard. She hit hard. and smokes good, so good.
Have you were you guys out there? Have you guys know of that permanent marker strand? The new permanent marker strand that just came out.
Like here in Colombia,
Yeah, you guys have like a was the permanent marker released over there as well?
I would say the company that releases the best seeds right now from Colombia, it's called Black Tuna,
Okay.
and they do have great crosses. They're the kind of guys who get like the real clones, and they do
Mhm.
proper breeding with hundreds, if not thousands, of plants. So their plants are good. I would say those are the best here. There's also a very, very, very small company here in Medellin called Breeders, and they also have great seeds, but they're mostly sativas and land races, so they're not very for the American market, for example.
Yeah, because they're probably gonna grow very tall.
And not very tall, but maybe longer flowering
Longer.
times than what you
Okay.
used to.
Probably have to be an outdoor over here.
Yeah, for example, I made this octane triploid in 41 days. She was great. A huge plant with 6 trichomes, 6 mil. So that's what you go for when you're growing.
Yeah, you definitely want to go for the yield.
And time.
It's definitely interesting to see. You know, the plants have a mind of their own. They're like kids. Some of them are tall, some of them are short, some of them, you
Oh,
know.
well, but that
some of
doesn't
them are-
matter. All the strains are different. Some are taller, some are shorter. That depends on what you want to. For example, if your style doesn't fit tall plants, then maybe I don't know, top them or bend the plants or do something like a net. I forgot the English.
Trellis net.
Training, yep.
Yeah.
Trellis training and all that.
So there's many ways to work with tall plants. So that
Yeah.
depends on your growing style and techniques and stuff. Yeah.
Let's go back to the lighting side of this real fast. You know, as a creative, we all know that lighting is everything in photography, videography. It doesn't matter. Can you tell us your lighting setup or your go-to lighting setup when you're getting ready to go shoot for a client? Are you able to tell anything like that?
Some of my clients already have the lights because over the years they found out that it's better to have like the set ready. So I just go take my camera, rail or whatever I'm shooting with. Yeah, go good to go. But if I'm shooting home, just have one 400-watt light.
Okay, 400-watt light. That's actually pretty good.
I just
light.
use many white paper to rebound the light where I want to.
So basically, guys, what he's saying is you don't have to go out here and spend an arm and a leg on some fancy lights.
No, this is China light. This is a Godox SK400. It was 120 USD, like super cheap. But it has an issue. Like not every single exposure is the same. So you gotta learn how to work with that. But if you know how to work your equipment, it's all good.
For people out there that maybe want to find your work, where can they find your work at?
I've been trying to work on a website that where I can sell my prints, but for some reason they see the plant as if they were flower. So stupid. So I haven't found a proper way to sell my prints rather than I just call the client. You want this, you want that. I give you photos, print this, print that, all good. For example, in Barcelona, they're printing my photos right now for I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna sell it on Spanish, maybe.
Oh, and are you getting any type of compensation out of that?
Yeah, it's all the photos. They pay me.
Okay, nice. And this is because of you're getting royalties on these photos.
Yep.
Okay, that's nice. Um, if somebody wanted to get a step into actually becoming a paid cannabis photographer, what's one tip that you could give somebody out there to actually get into it and maybe they can find a paid gig?
Easy. Get a grower.
Ah, thank you, man. That's a gem. Thank you so much. That is a gem. You guys,
Just get a grower that is close to you, that you know he has good flowers, and let him do your thing.
that's awesome. And you
Like,
guys,
he has to trust you when you touch the plant, where you're taking leaves. If you know what I'm doing, what you're doing, you're gonna do good photos. Just get a good grower around and work with him. Like, dude, I want to start doing this. I don't want to work with anybody because that's not a good idea. Not in the beginning. So just work with that guy and push, 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 learn until you get good.
okay,
After
so
that, you can go maybe look for someone else, but don't start like many people that it's burned from the beginning. Like, they get a camera and a lens, they take one photo, and next day they have an Instagram, Pepito Perez Cannabis Photography. I sell my work, bro. No.
so let's flip it to the other side. So now you just answered the question on what would someone do that trying to get a paid gig job. What about if I'm someone and I am a grower? What would I go about trying to? What am I looking for? I'm a grower. I'm looking for a photographer. I'm looking for a cannabis photographer. What am I looking for?
That depends on what you grow for. You
Okay.
grow illegally, you shouldn't worry about it. But if you growing under, what are you gonna shoot for? So yeah, so think about what he's growing for, and if you can help him some way with your media, that's the way. If you can help him with the media, that's not your guy.
My
And
reason,
vice versa.
Got you.
see, my reason for growing right now would be the medical side of it, to be able to help the elderly, but also for just the taste. Like I said, I've been around it my whole life, and just the different tastes. To know like you can create a family of one, that aren't isn't nothing new. I want to bring back that originality. So that's what I'm in it for. My heart's set on it.
Yeah, I know. And cannabis helps much. I had an accident 3 years ago. I'm still using a crutch because I have so many surgeries, 2 transplants, etc. So cannabis for me is not for taste, it's life, bro.
Yeah, no,
And
that
yeah,
definitely.
it helped
That
me
definitely too.
so much in the worst time.
I try not to fully say that in the business aspect of it, but yeah, life definitely is another factor. Um, Me personally, military, football, injuries built up over time, not being able to do anything,
Uh,
kind of pick back up into it. But it's also helped me on other aspects of health and medical as well, and just life in general.
yeah,
I would
100%.
definitely say it helped. I would definitely say it helps with my PTSD a lot. A lot, and a lot of people, it also helps with insomnia and other things. It's not always so bad, over here in America for the longest of time, they seek it as such a bad thing. And in reality, it's not bad. It's how people use it. Some people say, there is no such thing as overusing it, but at the same time, like, there's always a way to help. And there's always a way to make a difference in the world. So
Yes.
this is kind of my way.
Bro, whatever eases your mind is good for your body and your soul. And cannabis does exactly that.
All right. If you could go anywhere in the world right now to shoot cannabis photography, where would that be at?
Thailand.
Thailand. Why Thailand?
Yeah. Oh, Thailand is booming. There are so many great growers there, so many land races that I've never seen, plants very different. So I would be so thrilled to go there. Must be a wonderful experience. Also, Marrakesh could be great because I know there's thousands of plants there. So could be also a wonderful experience, like walking in all these fields. Must be nice. It's different, you know. It's different than a license here in Colombia, than a club in Barcelona. Is a completely different experience that I haven't lived. So yeah.
Well, man, this was a great episode. Was very excited to get it done. You dropped a lot of gems out there for, exactly where I'm from right now. There's a lot of people looking to get into the cannabis industry, whether that's being a cultivator, whether that's being a photographer, creative director, or designer. It's going to be a booming market in our state where we're at right now. It's very still brand new. And I think this is going to add value to a lot of people out there that were able to tune in and listen to this.
Super important. This is the time. If you just legalized, then man, this is the time to go for it. Go for it. No fear. Just do it.
You guys heard it from Mr. Mary Jane Shots himself. It's brand new. Just go for it, man. Is there anybody out there, any last words that you or anybody you would like to shout out?
I might be going to this year's panel, so if anyone's going there, I would love to meet you guys. And
sure, man.
well, feel free to message me to any questions or whatever you want.
And once
And
again,
guys, I truly appreciate what you did today. This was a wonderful interview. So
absolutely,
yeah, I
thank you,
would love
man.
to come back anytime.
I would definitely say shout out Mary Jane Shots, shout out the home, Grow TV, man. Shout out anybody that's out there watching this that's wants to be in the cannabis industry, as well as the photographers, because it shows that there's multiple sides in the industry that you can be into. And hey, it looks easy. It's not easy, but you can get there. Critique yourself, gain that knowledge.
Yeah, take it and go for it.
Man, I would like to definitely thank you for being on the show, man. This was very special. This one meant a real, all of them mean a lot to me, but this one just meant a lot more to me because, we're a fellow creative, man. We're in the creative industry together. This is just awesome to sit down and be able to talk to someone. And also, man, you're in a different niche that I'm not used to myself, man. I've never really, met a cannabis photographer yet. I haven't. You're like my first one.
Oh, there's many in the States, like great photographers. Like if you want to get a reference, you can look for many. The States is the country with the best photographers around.
Yeah, man, I haven't really found any that I at least ran across yet. Like I said, we're still new into this whole thing, but like, man.
Well, anytime. Huge pleasure, man.